Joining us now is Illinois Representative Brad Schneider, who has spearheaded the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act in Congress. Thank you so much for being here. First off, what is your reaction to this deadly weekend?
Well, thank you, and thank you for your coverage. I was watching it a little bit before we spoke. This is a horrific attack. We saw one individual filled with hate, white supremacist ideology, make a decision to drive 3 hours to a community of predominantly black residents and open fire with a deadly assault weapon simply because of the color of the people in that store. And, brutally murdering 10 people, injuring others. But this wasn't just an attack on Buffalo, the entire nation. We stand united, and that's why it's so important that as a nation we take action to identify these threats of domestic terrorism and track them and try to prevent them before they happen.
And you call your bill bipartisan, but do you have enough votes to make this a reality?
I believe we do. This bill passed in the last Congress, September of 2020, by voice vote. Unanimous, went over to the Senate, was blocked by Ron Johnson. I believe we should have as strong of support this time. Because of politics, I think there'll be a number of people who conflate it with other issues and will choose not to support it. But this is something that everyone in Congress, Democrat or Republican, should be able to support, get behind, and protect all American citizens.
And when we talk about bipartisanship, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who's been ostracized by her own party, had some strong words today. She tweeted, "The House GOP leadership has enabled white nationalism, white supremacy, and anti-Semitism. History has taught us that what begins with words ends in far worse. GOP leaders must renounce and reject these views and those who hold them." Do you agree that the GOP leadership has enabled and potentially empowered white nationalists?
Well, I think the leadership needs to be more forthright in calling it out and expunging it from their party. There is no room for extremism, for racism, for hate, white supremacy in any political party, any mainstream political party. We are a nation of people from around the world who stand united. Our motto, E pluribus unum. It is who we are. And the threats we're seeing, the murders in Buffalo are not an isolated event. We saw it in El Paso. We saw it in Pittsburgh. People fueled by hate, fueled by the extremism they're finding, whether it's on the internet or within their communities, and then acting upon that hate to kill people they disagree with or see not like them. And we need leadership to stand up and say this will not stand within our party. Liz Cheney, I spoke to her tonight. Liz Cheney has called it out. Others should as well.
And on the flip side, how have the Democrats, who are the majority, continuously failed to combat something as damaging for our nation as white supremacy?
Well, I disagree with your premise. As I said, we introduced this bill in the last Congress. It passed on a voice vote going over from the House to the Senate. And it was Ron Johnson who blocked it in the Senate 2 years ago. I'm hopeful that we'll pass it in the House. We'll go to the Senate. This is it is bipartisan. It should be bipartisan. It should have support of the House of Representatives as well as the Senate. And unfortunately, the rules in the Senate allow one person to stand in his way.
I understand that you disagree with the premise, but if we look at the seriousness of this white supremacy crisis, there was the Tree of Life shooting, which was an attack on the Jewish community, El Paso, which was an attack on Latinos, specifically Mexicans and Mexican Americans, and Congress didn't act then. White supremacy and nationalism fanatics stormed the halls of the Capitol while wearing extremist symbols on January 6th, where members feared for their lives, and they still didn't act. So I guess the question is, what more will it take?
Well, it's going to take the Republicans to join with us, especially in the Senate, where the rules require 60 votes. But Congress, the House has acted. The House passed the H.R. 8, universal background checks, and following the murders at Mother Emanuel, we closed the Charleston loophole, and it stops in the Senate. We passed the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act in 2020. It was stopped by Ron Johnson in the Senate. We will pass the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act in 2022, hopefully this week. And my prayer is that the members of the Senate will find a way to convince, we only need 10 Republicans to move it forward from there.
Your prayer is certainly shared by many Americans. Illinois Congressman Brad Schneider, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and thanks for your reporting.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.